Hey, how's it going? You got time for a beer? Think I do. Welcome to my show. I'm Jake. Uh, this isn't Thursday, but I'm making a new video with a new beer. Well, really a new cider, because this is the one that I wanted to drink tonight. So that's the one I'm drinking. This beer, cider, is from Vander out of Grand Rapids. Raspberry Zero Cider. It's a zero sugar added. What else? 16 ounces. Raspberry, zero added sugar, bone dry. Ingredients are apple cider and raspberry juice. Real nice. 0 bricks. 0.0 bricks. Trying to remember what that means. Because I know, I want to say that it's that all of the sugar is processed. Like all of the sugar has been taken out by the yeast, but I'm not positive on that, so don't quote me. If I remember, though, that's what it is. It does contain sulfates, though, but it's also gluten-free, which is good for me, because I'm not supposed to have gluten. Just makes me gassy. Not that big a deal. Let's see what else. Pressed Michigan raspberries are blended with cider for a refreshing balance of flavors. With 0 added sugar, Raspberry Zero is tart and dry, but true to the fruit it's born from. Sure. Produced and canned by Vander, Grand Rapids, Michigan, and then it's got the zip code. Recycle. Do it for the apple trees. I used to have apple trees in my backyard, but they got cut down before the house got sold. So really it wasn't in my backyard. It was in my neighbor's backyard, which is now my backyard. Kind of hoping this will be pink or red or something like that. Because, you know, it's cider. But also it's got raspberries in it. There's kind of a red hue to it. Could grab my light changing thing and change it. Oh man, that's super full. Oops. Which is fine. We'll figure this out. Hopefully it doesn't spill all down me. It might. Got a black shirt on though, so you shouldn't be able to tell, which is nice too, right? Mostly, it tastes like apples. I've had this before, though. Well, I mean, before, like, I had it when I first bought it. And then I had another one right after that. Because they're really good. So I've got this one and then one other one left, and that's all I've got of these. But they're really good. I highly suggest these ones. The Raspberry Zero from Vanderbilt. It's delicious. You can taste the raspberries. But the other weird thing is that it's got a very herbal taste to it. Herbal like tea, like chamomile tea, like something that you drink to put yourself to sleep at night, and it tastes good. Yeah, but I kind of like kombucha. It's pretty all right. Hard kombucha, also pretty decent. I find it tastes a lot more like cider than it does like anything else that I've ever had, but they add in a lot of other things to that to make it, well, hard. Sugars and whatnot, which seems strange to me, because why not, if you're fermenting tea, why not just ferment the tea if that's how that works? I think that's how that's supposed to work. Then you get all the lactobacillus and all that stuff in there, so it's sour, because that's how it's supposed to be. I mean, like cider. Cider's supposed to be sour, but then it's also fermented apples, so it's sour. What does this remind me of? Well, like I said, chamomile tea. It's It's a little bit raspberry-y. It's a little bit apple-y. I mean, it tastes like what it's supposed to taste like. So that's good, right? What else does it remind me of? A story? Is there a story that goes along with this? Probably. I've got a couple, I think. My mom hates having raspberries around her house because they sort of look like they are they're poison ivy a little bit. And then you can't ever tell until like there's fruit on them. And even then, sometimes it's hard to tell because birds like raspberries. Go figure. They're sweet and seedy and all that stuff, so birds eat them. But my mom likes raspberries, so I don't know. It's tough. What else? Okay, so when I was leading the first year camper program, part of my deal was I was supposed to lead a hike, a 5-mile hike where you identify 10 plants and then signs of 10 animals, which I did. Well, I sort of did. I led a hike where we identified 10 plants and 10 animals on the hike around the lake. I let them do their thing during the day. I mean, they're hiking 10 miles without a problem during the day. From the time they get up to the time they go to sleep, without a problem. 10 miles, no big deal. Because there's a lot of walking that goes on at camp. It's not like they ride around or anything. It's walking. All day long, walking. It's great fun. But on this hike, it's no big deal to do 10, 15, 20 plants, 10, 15, 20 animals. And hopefully they can figure those things out. We do like beavers, and there were fish beds, and there were muskrat mounds, and there were chipmunk holes, and there were snake holes, and there were usually some turtle eggs around. And the turtle eggs were usually with some evidence of raccoons, because raccoons like turtle eggs, go figure, and they would dig them up after they had been laid and eat them. We do sassafras trees, and we do cherry trees, like the wood kind, not necessarily the cherry kind, like the, Bing cherries, not necessarily those, but like cherry wood, and a few of those on the property there. White oak, red oak, there's a spot where you could stand there and hold a white oak tree leaf and a red oak tree leaf and put them next to each other and hold them right there in front of your face, and you let them go and they spring back. And usually that wasn't a big deal unless it was raining out. And then it was kind of funny. Got to teach mostly not the scouts, mostly the leaders there. Well, the leaders, the staff there, that if you kick a tree, and don't kick a tree, it's mean for the trees, but if you do, it'll usually transfer all of those vibrations from that hit up into the branches, and if it's been raining, it will rain more. It just takes a little bit. They didn't realize, but everybody that I worked with in that program was not a small man. I worked with one girl, I think, there, but not for the whole summer, for like not a week of the summer, actually. She went and did stuff in the kitchen, and I got Will. Sounds like I'm disappointed. I'm not disappointed in Will. I like Will a lot. He's weird and kind of cool. A lot like Captain America, jumping on a grenade and all that junk. But yeah, so I haven't gotten to the raspberries yet. One of the last stops after you go, well, just before you get to the climbing wall, off in amongst the cattails in the swamp there were raspberries. I knew there were raspberries because they'd been there for every time I'd done the walk. So like 7 times a summer for 10 summers, something like that. Raspberries all the time, right there. There had been raspberries on it before. There, by the end of the summer, there were always raspberries on it. I'd ask them not to eat the raspberries because I wanted to have them there so that the next scouts could see the raspberries. So yeah, that's my story about camp and raspberries. Took a little while to get there. That's fine. Man, this is really good. I could drink like 6 more of these. I probably shouldn't though. 6.5% alcohol by volume. So it's not light. I mean, in color, it's pretty light. It's pretty pink too. Really. It looks wood colored, but I'm looking at it and there's wood beyond where I'm looking, so that makes sense. Let's see, what else do I have to talk about? Oh, man. Well, I mean, it's October, so there's all kinds of really cool stuff going on. One of my favorite parts about this time of year is all of the sugar skulls. I really like those things. Coco's probably my favorite Pixar movie, mostly just because it's a bunch of sugar skulls walking around out in the wild. And I think those are very cool things. I bought a skull candy dish at one point in time. That's a couple of years ago now, I think. Maybe just one. No, 2 probably. Probably 2 years ago. That I've got plans on making into a sugar skull, but I haven't gotten around to it yet. There's painting to do on it, and I need to decide what gets to go on it. In the meantime, I'm just going to keep buying different things that look like that because I think they look cool. Actually, that reminds me of going to Disneyland, which was super awesome. That was a couple years ago now still. I was still working thirds, which is always a fun way to do travel. You just stay up all night and then fly out super early in the morning. I mean, like I'd work and then I'd fly out at like 7 or 8, maybe even 9. Work till 7:30 or so. Come home, get ready, go to the airport, get on the plane, and fly out. And then you fly because it's a long trip, and what else is there to do? Listen to my podcasts and sleep mostly. So I'd sleep. I mean, you tend to stay awake because you just do. But yeah, got out there, and the fireworks show at the end of the night had music from Coco, which I thought was pretty cool. And then all of there were all kinds of like inflatables that came up during the show, and just all of the different characters from Coco were up on Main Street there, and it was very cool. I didn't see it very well. I could tell that they were there, because well, we were kind of down like on the hub. You could see that they came up. I couldn't like name all of the ones that were there because I couldn't see all the ones. I could see like 2, like the mother or the great grandmother, sure, the one that started the shoes. That one was there that I could see. I'm sure that everybody else was there too, but that's the one I could see for sure. And it was fantastic. Getting close. Sometimes I wish I had salt on this, because salt makes it so that it doesn't stick. Even works on napkins. Put some salt on your napkin. Your beer won't pick up your napkin when you pick it up, even no matter how much you spill on it or the glass sweats or whatever. I mean, if it's not a beer, even if it's a water glass that's got a napkin under it, you put some salt under there, stays on the table, which is nice. That's a freebie. All right, don't forget, like, comment, subscribe on YouTube. You can follow me on Untapped, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, all at tubajake_69. It would be super awesome if you would. I would like that a lot. Makes me feel special. All of my 12 subscribers on YouTube, thank you. I like that a lot. If you haven't yet, you'd like to, go ahead, please do. It makes me feel good when people subscribe. It's very cool. Okay, so I got a quote for you. This one is from Wilt Chamberlain, basketball player, in case you didn't know. Wilt says, everything is habit. Everything is habit forming. That's what he said. So make sure what you do is what you want to be doing. Let's try that again. Everything is habit forming. So make sure what you do is what you want to be doing. Yeah, just make sure. Like this. I like doing this. Make a habit of it, and then you keep doing it. So, yeah, I want to be doing this. Good deal. All right, so, like, follow, subscribe, tubajake_69, Untapped YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, all the things, all those things anyway. I don't have all the things. Well, see you next time. You got time for a beer.